But what I want you to do is think about what is realistic. So if you've been here, 1 to 3 months, and you're like, well, I took Bethany's class yesterday, I'm all pumped up, I'm gonna make $100,000 in sales this year. Shoot for the moon. Shoot for that moon. I will not discourage you. Because even if you wound up at 30,000, would you be happy?
Yes.
Right. So, but I do want you to be realistic with yourself so that you don't get discouraged. I did that $100,000 challenge that I did with the ambassadors, and they all started out totally pumped up. And these are our ambassadors, right? So like you figure, well, they're the top of the top, they're gonna get 100, every one of them is gonna just nail it. But as each month goes by, and some are seeing others have huge success, and they're like, I'm trying, I'm working this, and then they kind of like stop showing up for the monthly calls, and it's normal behavior. It's normal. Because you're going to see that, like, oh, I set out to do this goal and it's not working out the way I planned. And then you might get discouraged. But instead of getting discouraged, see, like, well, if that didn't work, why? What else is out there for me? Always be wondering, always be curious. Because discouragement is helped by encouragement, right? If you start saying, if you get discouraged, encourage yourself, like, well, wait a minute, let me get curious. What else is out there for me? Maybe I wasn't meant to do that because it was so difficult and it was so frustrating and it ended a friendship for Pete's sake. So you know what? What is meant for me? Keep looking. So come up with some realistic goals that push you enough that you're excited for them, but you're a little bit nervous. Am I going to be able to accomplish it? And again, you're going to shoot for the moon. Hey, if you surpass it, fantastic. And if you miss it, you're still going to end up with more than what you started from this moment on. Okay? But then there are challenges that can stop you from taking that next step. You all write it down. You've all written it down. How many of you have a smile on your face? You're excited about what you're going to do in 2024? How many of you are not excited about what you're going to do in 2024? How many of you are not going to raise your hand no matter what I ask? All right, I got you. I'm watching you. Listen, the key to loving your job is to be excited about what you're doing. So if you didn't come up with your goals yet, then you don't have to do it this minute, but please do it within the next week. All right, and have them be things that you're like, this would be really fun. This would be really fun if I booked my first river cruise. This would be fun if I booked my third group, and this group was like 4 times the size of any other one I've ever done. This would be great if I finally hit 6 figures in commission this year. I would be excited about that. And then you're going to be excited about it. And then a few days are going to go, and you're going to be excited, but little voices are going to start creeping in. And then you're going to be excited, and suddenly some doubt's going to start creeping in. And you're going to get less excited, and all of a sudden, all of those challenges that get in the way start making you doubt that you can do it. So what are some of those challenges? How many of you have time restraints? You're already working a full-time job, you got family, you've got your caretaking, you're doing all kinds of, okay. How many of you feel kind of stuck because of your lack of knowledge? You feel like you don't know enough to move forward, so you feel like you gotta study and study and study. How many of you have mindset blocks? Like, you think you're gonna do it, it's great, then all of a sudden the voices in your head start telling you why you can't do it. Or the voices outside of your head and start hanging around you or telling you you can't do it. Or how many of you feel like it has to be perfect before you could do it? All right. So these are all human nature challenges. They are real to you in your mind. But the reality is, do you ever notice that, like, I used to notice this all the time. People would ask me to go on vacation with them. And I'm like, oh, I'm too busy, I've got work, I've got this, I'm busy. And then the moment there's a funeral, find time to get on that plane, be with my family, right? We can make time if we choose to. So if you want to make time for your business, you can choose to. And if you choose not to because you want to, do some other things that are priorities, that is okay. Listen, I am not the coach that is going to tell you, you do it my way or you take the highway. No, this isn't personalizing it for you. So you've got to figure out, hey, I'm just happy to make some commission this year and make sure it works for me. That's fine with me. Or if you're someone who's like, nope, I'm going for 6 figures, I will help you do that. My team will help you do that. We are here to meet you where you are. This is a profession, okay? You're not selling somebody's skincare or their leggings or their pills or their hair growth stuff or their sparkly water. You are in a profession, all right? Just like a teacher goes to school to get accreditations to become a teacher, just like a doctor has to go get the MCATs, do the medical school, get the internship at the hospital, how many of you went to school for becoming a travel agent? Right? This is your school. You are learning as you're earning. You are building the plane as you're flying it. And building a plane as you're flying it can feel pretty scary and intimidating. And you can crash. But nobody gets hurt when you crash in this plane. And you can start putting the pieces together again, and this time you know where they go because you learned something from the last time. So we don't want paralysis by analysis. We don't want you getting frozen that I must know everything. But if you're new and you want to take the time to educate yourself, we've got college-level education for you. Some people say going through my ambassador program is like going through a semester of college. Any ambassadors in the house want to agree to that? Yes. Okay, so I want you to understand that you are deciding what your 2024 is going to look like. You're deciding how much time you're going to carve out for yourself. And if you're somebody who is time challenged, I suggest you block time. I must block my gym time. I put it in a different color in my Apple Calendar and I block it out, and I will not schedule anyone. And once in a while I'll have an ambassador in training be like, please, it's the only time to see. I am sorry, I am booked. I have to do that for me. And it took me about 50 years to learn that. I'm 55, and let me tell you, the last 5 years have been the calmest years of my life because I finally learned that life still happens and everybody still does and follows their own path and learns the lessons they're supposed to learn because I'm not helping them learn them. I always felt like I had to help everybody do things along the way. Especially our ambassadors and people who want to train people and help people grow. We're always helping, depleting ourselves. And I'm telling you, you have so much more strength. There's so much more good that you can do in the end if you make sure you put yourself first. So if this career choice that you've made, and you can do this career part-time, full-time, you decide. If this career choice means a lot to you, then put it on your calendar and make everyone in your life know, this is my time. Unless you choose, hey, I got second row tickets to Luke Bryan tonight, I'm going, okay. Scratch it. That's one day. But then you make sure you get right back on the horse next day and you stick to your schedule. So I want you to come up with solutions for your challenges. Okay, so think about, all right, so time is a challenge for me. I'm going to time block when it's going to be, and then I'm going to schedule everything else around it. Now, if you have been in teletravel for a while, and you may have seen it's on YouTube, in teletravel TV, it shows you how to do a 10, 20, 40-hour week. And it shows you if you have a full-time job, how you can schedule around it for 10, 20, or 40 hours around a full-time job. It also shows you if you have a full-time job that won't let you work at work. So you can't work lunch hours, you can't work breaks because you have the type of job where you just can't be on the internet. It shows you how you can still do the 10, 20, 40-hour work week. So there is a solution to every challenge you have. And if you are struggling, if you cannot find a solution, then go on to IntelliJess on Facebook, and you'll see there's a picture of me with a light bulb over it. And I usually answer questions on my live Q&As, but sometimes I'll answer you right in there. I don't answer customer service, I don't answer commission questions, I don't answer group booking questions. I answer business building questions. So if you have a challenge that you feel I have no solution for, then I will challenge that, and I will give myself the challenge to help talk you through it. All right, one of the biggest solutions is to remember why you chose to become a travel agent, and is it a strong enough reason to implement your solutions. You know, I had a couple of businesses through the years, and I'm just gonna be straightforward with you guys. I worked these businesses so hard. I did everything I teach you to do, and I still was not succeeding. And I was so frustrated. And I gotta tell you, the first one I was not passionate about. I just thought it was a good opportunity. The second one I was passionate about. And I was so frustrated and just discouraged that I couldn't make it work. And I had to say to myself, am I meant to be doing this? And my answer was no. And it's okay if your answer is no. But usually, you had a really good reason for starting. And if that reason is still true, see, that reason that I started wasn't true for me anymore. So I just stopped doing it. And it's okay, but again, I'm not here to discourage you from doing this. I'm here to help you do it because you want to. So I want you to think about what your why was. Why did you become a travel agent? And I'm going to share a story from one of your ambassadors, Latoria. Latoria Mayberry told me this story during her training, her why, of why she became a travel agent, and it made me cry. She was a single mom, and she was working to support her child, and her mother wanted to take them both to Disneyland, but she couldn't go. She couldn't get off of work, so her mom took the granddaughter to Disney. And when her daughter came back and she had the ears and she saw the princesses and all this, if you've ever taken a child to Disneyland for the first time, I mean, she was over the moon, and Victoria is hugging her because she's so happy, the daughter, and she's crying. And the daughter says, Mommy, why are you crying? And she's like, because I'm so happy you had a good time. But really she was crying because she couldn't be there. So in the beginning, her why was to help every single mom be able to take their kids to Disneyland. So as a travel agent, she was going to find a way to make it, whether it be go to Uplift and help them get, if you're not familiar with Uplift, they will give your client the loan to pay for it, and they pay back Uplift, and you have nothing to do with any of that. You just set it up with them. But now, people's whys get different, as they've been doing it a long time. Now she sees it's not just single moms. There are a lot of people who do not know that they can travel to the types of places that they can go. It is personal. So for me, in the beginning, my why was because I have been a professional speaker since 1997. I worked in the entertainment industry. And I was kind of the first one to really become this career coach for the entertainment industry. So I rose to the top really quickly. But I had to do everything myself because my block was that because I was in the industry myself, my block was that entertainment professionals don't have money to spend. Because I didn't have money to spend when I was trying to make it. So don't shop with your own wallet. I was like, they don't have money to spend. So therefore, I want to go to the unions and the organizations, have them pay me, so that everyone can come for free. The thing with that is that I never had enough money to hire any help. I was making enough money to, support myself. So I had to book the location. I had to go back and forth. I had to print out my own manuals. I had to book if I'm traveling, I had to book my own travel. I had to do everything myself, and I was exhausted. So when I had the opportunity to come to IntelliTravel, and James was like, okay, we're gonna, first he wanted me to do customer service. But the deal he made with me was if you do customer service for a year as the manager, say, oh, I didn't want to be the manager. If you do it for a year and learn the business, we're going to be getting a lot of new agents in the future, and I want you to do our training. And I said, oh, okay. So what does that mean? He says, you create the content, we send you. We've got travel agents who will book you where you want to go. We're going to put you in hotels, we're going to get you transportation, we're going to set up the stage for you, we're going to make it beautiful, we're going to bring the people, we're going to do everything. You just show up and speak. And I said, okay. So my why was I got to do what makes me happy and passionate and have all the work done for me, and I just get to show up and do my thing and like motivate and excite people. But then, as the years have gone by, I started seeing people making money, and they come up and tell me stories about, oh, I took this webinar and this, and now I'm like, ooh, now I can create something to help them get to 100,000. Oh, now I can help them create something that they can do with big groups. And now it became about how do I solve every problem that each agent has to help them get the goals that they want. And that excites me. That's the kind of stuff that I'm like, so you've got to find what excites you about travel and booking for other people. So if you're just desperately out there trying to get any fish on the hook, it's going to be more challenging. It might be the dues you've got to pay in the beginning, but you've got to trust that eventually you're going to be at the point where you're like, I just want to do curated travel. I just want to be able to talk to people, say, what do you want to do? Okay, what are your hobbies? Kayaking? Well, I know that they have kayaking at this resort, or you can go on an excursion with this cruise. All right, what else you got? Concerts? Okay, you know what? Kayaking and concerts, maybe we need a Las Vegas trip, because they've got concerts, they've got kayaking in Colorado River. I'll send you over to the Grand Canyon while you're there, because why not see one of the wonders of the world? I think it's a wonder. I don't know, it's a wonder to me, I saw it. But the point is, what is going to be fun for you? And then the stuff that isn't fun, that's where you find someone to help you. That's where you find, like, if you've got teenagers and you want to give them some business sense, you're going to mentor them, say, okay, you do this, and then you get to go to see Taylor Swift, okay? All right. You'll earn it. You'll have to earn it. It's very expensive. Okay. But we all know what football is now, right? Yay! Thanks, Taylor. We know what football is. Okay. The point is, gotta have that strong reason. And it's not like I always heard say, oh, you need a why that makes you cry. I don't think so. I think you need a why that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. When I was acting, when I had to get up to get on my flight at 4 o'clock in the morning to come here, I'm excited to be here. And I was up before my alarm clock every morning this week. But the morning I had to fly, I knew what that day was. I was not excited. I had to, my alarm, but then I get here and it's like, I can't wait to get up in the morning. I'm up before, I was like, I'll set my alarm for 9 this morning since my class isn't until 11. So this way I can sleep in and be ready. 7 a.m., I am up. I'm ready to go. That's what you need. I worked for a corporation, well, it was a union, so it wasn't really, it was corporate. But I worked for a union as their in-house career coach. I created that position for myself because I saw a missing piece, right? So you guys have missing pieces, I'm gonna help you solve it. So I found the missing piece that we were a union, but we couldn't help people get work. But I could train people to learn how to get their own work so they knew what their talents were, but they didn't know how to share it with the world. They didn't know how to be seen. Okay, talent is not enough. So, toward the end, I didn't get a raise for 7 years. Excuses after excuse after excuse because of this, she'll never leave. And that 7th year, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, that's it. I'm starting, and I had planned for it in advance. I started my company, the Green Light Coach, and everybody in the industry knew I was a coach, so I knew I could go to the other unions. But I would get later and later to work because I hated it. But the minute I booked a commercial and I had to be there at 4 a.m., I was up before the alarm clock because acting, that was my thing. So you've got to find what's going to wake you up in the morning excited. Like you're going to be dreaming about the vacations that you're doing. So watch the supplier videos. Create that wanderlust for yourself so you'll have the desire to create it for other people. All right. So creating this path that I talked about, it is working forwards and backwards. Because forwards are the steps that you're going to be taking all year long. But you want to start at the end of the year to know where you want to go. But then you got to decide, go back to the beginning and say, is this realistic? So you're like, well, I want to make 100K. Right? I mean, of course you do in commissions. But then if you go back to the beginning of your path and you're like, well, wait a minute, I made $25 in commission last year. It was just enough to get my check, because if it had been 24, I wouldn't have gotten it. So getting to 100,000 from there is not, so you've got to work backwards and forwards constantly until finally in the end, you meet where you're supposed to be. So you're thinking, okay, this is the goal I set for myself at the end of the year. Am I doing the foundational work right now to create what's going to get me there? What's missing? And every month you keep track of what you're doing. And all those goals that don't get, all those little milestones that don't get hit along the way, move them forward. And if you find yourself moving them forward and moving them forward and moving them forward for 4 months, or 3 months, you got to say, wait a minute, why are these not getting done? What is the challenge? What's the solution? All right, so here's some tools for you. And if you've seen this already, it's changed a little bit. So we've got the marketing tools. These are all the types of things that are going to take up your day as a travel agent. These are the types of things that you get to pick and choose from. It's like one of those Chinese restaurant menus. If networking is not something you enjoy doing, well then try the other things first and see if those work for you. I'm not going to make anybody do what they don't want to do. I'm not trying to take an introvert and turn you into an extrovert. No way. We find what your talents are, where there's nothing wrong with starting in the comfort zone and expanding it slowly. Okay? As long as in the comfort zone, you're getting results. Okay? Results are what's important. Because otherwise I'm like, I'm just going to kick you right out of that comfort zone. I will. I'll find you and I'll kick you out. But I will allow you, I will invite you to start in your comfort zone with the things you enjoy doing that make you excited to get out of bed in the morning, as long as you're getting results from them. And keep on going if you're getting those results. And then you're going to get braver and braver and add more things on. So you've got marketing tools. Your goal, if you didn't take Kathy Hoffman's who did take Kathy Hoffman's social media? Pretty awesome, right? Okay, so now everybody who did this, like, bummer, don't worry. The next Friday live Q&A, I'm having her do it for everybody. It's not going to be the same as having her in person, but it will be enough that you will get all the learnings, and then everybody who's there is going to get even more, because they're going to see it again. And, it's always a little different. This is completely different than what I did yesterday. Same class, but you're getting a whole new story here. So you want to look like a $1 million brand, even though you are a single independent agent. And we give you the tools to do that. So yes, you can go on Canva and you can copy and paste an airplane near a palm tree and have a pair of sunglasses. But does that make you look like $1 million? Does that make you look like somebody that a stranger seeing you on social media would trust? I know, I always want to recreate the wheel. I'm very creative. Like, during one of my companies, I'm like, I'm going to create my own magazine. They're like, what? Don't do that. Because first of all, nobody else can create a magazine. Like, just keep it simple. We give you the tools so that you don't have to spend all this precious time that you have doing it. So use our post office, which is now Travel Leaders Network. Use our newsletter, and if you don't know how, I do tons of videos on how to create the newsletter. If you're not a writer, I can still tell you how many of you do faith-based travel in here? Anybody? All right, I see a few. So, if you're not a writer, and you do faith-based travel, just say, do a newsletter, close your eyes, open the Bible, put your finger down, say, oh, this passage spoke to me today. Jumped right off the page at me. What does it mean to you? hit reply and let me know, and maybe I'll feature you in my next newsletter. And then you attach BTS, Globus, whoever's got some kind of hot deal for faith-based. And then next month, it's written for you because you get a bunch of people who want to be stars. And you put them in and you feature them. And they say, oh, she really is featuring people. I'm going to send them this month. And they write it for you, and you just keep attaching the hot deals. And they're always going to want to open it to see what people have to say. How many of you have funny kids? All right, I got a couple of people with funny kids. Write down everything funny they say. And then for your newsletter, put down funny things my kids say. People are going to want to open that to read the funny things your kids say. And then you attach Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Carnival, Disney, all the fun stuff that they could do, right? All those hot deals. So we've got e-postcards. We've got print shop. I'm sure you've already been there. ABM, always be marketing. Wear your brand, gift your brand, do whatever it takes so people see that this is what you do. Supplier flyers, again, it is already done for you. They give you such wanderlust-provoking images. Why not share it? Okay, I asked this yesterday and I was shocked. How many people are not on social media? All right, yesterday, like a third of the room raised their hand. I was shocked, but you all are good, so just stick with me. So you want to be posting on your page consistently, whatever that means for you. Consistency could be 7 days a week, it could be 5 days a week, it could be 3 days a week, but whatever you do, make sure you keep it consistent. Private message people. I am going to show you how to do that on the next slide. Reels and carousels. So, every Instagram trainer out there is like, oh, reels aren't good anymore, you're not getting the vision. Oh, keep doing reels, because that's how strangers find you. Keep doing reels. Carousels are great right now because it makes people stay on your page longer and look at things, and they are giving you credit, and that's good for the people who are already following you. Do some Facebook and Instagram Live, whether it be an event or whether you just be talking about, oh, I just came back from, Lori was in here right before me, I just came back from my conference and I met Lori Madio from Royal Caribbean, and she's my friend, so she's going to hook me up. And so basically I'm excited to help my clients get the most amazing trips, because here's the, if you buy through their site, or if you buy on like Expedia or something, they can't call up Lori Madio and have something special. I'm going to tell you what it is, but I can get you something special. And you create curiosity. All right? So go live. And in the beginning, if going live is cringeworthy, save it. Because if you keep going live, a year from now, at the end of 2024, you're going to go and say, y'all, I want you to just go back. Because it came up in my memories today. You've got to see the first live I did. It's hilarious. Okay? You're going to grow in confidence. You're going to grow in skill set. And you're going to show other people that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to just go for it. I mean, when I look at my videos on my YouTube channel from when I was in the entertainment industry, it's me sitting on a stool next to my book, just giving tips. Then I got like hooked up at the Apple store, and I live in Florida, and I used to just go there and they would set up all the monitors for me, and they were teaching me how to use Final Cut, and I made crazy videos with things popping up and songs and all kinds of tweets and things going on. And it's like you look at my old ones and you look at those and you're like, gee, put a lot more production into those. But now you look at mine and I'm like, those 13 videos took me a year to make. Now I just get on there and do it dirty. They see me posting, I'm going, trying to make those reels dirty, not dirty like dirty, but dirty like, hey, they're happening. I'm in the phone pool, yes, I am. All right, that's my phone pool is my reel today. Okay, social media plan. If you didn't go to Kathy's, watch the replay or the live of the next Q&A that's coming and come up with a plan for yourself to make it manageable. One of the main challenges people have with social media is that they don't feel they have enough time to keep up with everything. It's too much. But the solution is to create a plan that does work for you. It takes the overwhelm away because you know you've got a plan there, and then you just do it. Okay, personal growth, networking events. It's so important to go to live networking events. And if you are one of those people who are introverted, and I said I'm not going to change you, I'm not. I'm still going to ask you to go to a networking event, but what I want you to do is when you're at the event, go along the wall, okay? And once you're at the wall, just keep going along the wall. And eventually, you will bump into another introvert. And neither one of you wants to be talking to anybody, so you just go, oh, you love these things as much as I do, huh? Yeah, but we're supposed to meet people, right? Yeah. Hi. All right, I got a solution for everyone. But here's the thing, how on a scale of 0 to 100%, how important are the words we say? 100, right? 7%. 7%. 39% is my tonality. I led you there. 55% is your physiology. So if I look at you in the front row, I'm like, I love you. You see, she's kind of like, I love you too. She doesn't feel very loved right now, right? But if I looked at you and said, I love you, get over here, give me a hug, I love you. She's going to be like, wait, am I supposed to get up right now? See? She's like, do I get up? She said, I love you, right? Now, what if I was just like, start crying, this is that part. I love you and I really care about you. I love you. 2, I love you. Now she's like, thank you. Thank you. 3 words said different ways with different physiology. So you want to see people, which takes us to your income-producing activities. Reconnect with people. You can do it by phone, but Zoom calls are better. FaceTime is better because then you get to see each other. All right? BDM strategy meetings. What does this mean? You got a thick red book that has all your BDMs in it. Keep calling until you find the ones that want to have strategy meetings with you, and I'll give you a little hint. It's most of the new ones. There are definitely small ones that will. I mean, Tyler will talk to anybody and will help you. I mean, we've got amazing BDMs. Oh my gosh! Apple leisure food, the supply to explore. Okay. Have these strategy meetings. They want to help you succeed. If your challenge is you don't feel confident enough to book a trip because you're afraid something might be wrong, go have a strategy meeting with your BDM. And they will help. My friend put together he helped me put together an entire trip for my bougie sister. She wanted fancy, and I didn't stay at fancy hotels. I didn't know. He's like, this is where you want me to go. This is, and he's texting me. I mean, where do I get that kind of service, right? So, I don't want people texting me, but I'm just saying. They want to help. I hear them at every time I see them on the Tuesday, Thursday, Monday night webinars. They're like, call me, reach out to me. And then I say, you know, and I do the work at Wednesdays with them. I've got from Willie Fernandez from Rental Escapes. Willie Fernandez, though, okay? He does villas. He's like, call me, put the person on the phone, I will sell the villa for you. He's like, just get on there with me, through it, and we will. And then I said, and we even had like a challenge with him to like write a story, because we were doing our storytelling series. He's like, I said, how many people said, because he was giving away $250 of Amazon card. One winner, 200. I said, how many people sent that in? 8. 8. Got a pretty good chance of winning $250. 8 out of 97,000 agents are submitting. So think about that. You be the agent who reaches out to Tyler. You be the agent who reaches out to Willie. They're asking for you to do it, okay? Like have Pied Piper strategy meetings. Pied Pipers are people who are influencers who you know. Okay, so if you've got a yoga teacher, if you've got a Zumba teacher, if you've got a friend who is like the president of a sorority from 20 years ago and everyone still loves her, if you've got a restaurant owner or a car dealer, whoever you know that has a lot of friends and influence, these are Pied Pipers. Sit down and say, I want to do a strategy meeting with you. And have a piece of paper and pen. I always say this. Have a piece of paper and a pencil or pen and write their name on the top and the date and let them see you do that. Trust me, every person in the entertainment industry who ever did this went from just having coffee to getting business done and getting hired. When they see their name on a strategy meeting piece of paper, all of a sudden they're like, well, I want to give you the best strategy. I want to give you the best advice. I want to do the best help here. I want to make this the best one you ever had. They get very competitive when they see their name on a piece of paper because they're like, there must be other names on this. Yeah, make sure you have like a few like pages that are already like before that, so they're like, well, they're right. And you want to start saying to them, listen, if you were going to go someplace with a group, whether it be to have fun, or whether it be to teach, or whether it be a retreat, you know, depending on who the person is you're talking to, where would you want to go? Where would your dream place be to go? I want to go to Bora Bora, and be in those huts over the water. Tyler, can you get us there? Yep. Okay, good. He'll help you. And I want to have a group of like 20 people, and I want to do a relaxation retreat and help them, you know, think about their mind, body, spirit. Okay, that's a great idea. Can you think of 20 people who would want to do that? Well, I don't know if they could afford it. Wait, who said anything about price? We didn't talk about price yet. We don't know how much this is going to cost. I make magic happen, because I know Tyler. So you just start creating and building the fantasy and the dream. When you start making their dreams happen, then you say, okay, first of all, if we get these 20 people to come, you're going for free. All right, then what you can do is, you know, for the first certain number of people that go, they're going to get to have the over the water, you know, they're going to pay more, they'll have the overboard, but otherwise, we're going to get you into another resort for the rest of the people, because what's going to happen is, for every 10 people you get, one person's going to come for free. So you tell your friends, if they get 10 people to come, they can go for free. And you're going to have other people out there working for you and getting those people paid. And you're just going to start brainstorming all the different ways to do things. All right, so meet with your Pied Piper. Face-to-face quoting. I love you. I love you. I love you. Right? You email your quote. It's everything they asked for, and then it's crickets. Why? Because you didn't see the expression on their face when they read it. Oh yeah, money is no object. Well, I'm a travel agent. I could put together a $100,000 Vegas trip for you. Because if money's no object, you're going to get the entire top floor at the Wynn. Bobby Flay's going to be cooking in your room. You're going to have the whole thing going on. You're going to have the Thunder Down Under. The Thunder Down Under. Australian Magic Mike. Basically, they got Magic Mike too. You're going to have Monday Thunder Down Under. Tuesday Magic Mike. Wednesday Tyler at Leisure Group. Where's that going? Exactly. But then, when they said money was no object, they figured, oh, Las Vegas is cheap. It's like, you know, $1,000, but I'm willing to spend $20,000. You sent them a quote for $100,000. They are embarrassed. They're not calling you back. So you need to call them and do face-to-face so that when you say, okay, I'm emailing you the quote now, this is what it is, or just tell them what the quote is, and if they're like, oh my gosh, you said money was no object, and I just went shopping with Jay-Z's pocketbook, and I am so sorry. I had a little Kardashian moment there, and I just went insane. But here's what we're gonna do. What is most important to you about this trip? Well, we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. Great, well then you don't need the entire top floor of the Wynn because there's only one person. And unless you're running around naked in the entire floor, like what's the point? So let's just get rid of that. Now we're down to 50. Oh good, so I'm trying to get down to 20. Okay, now they're excited again. You caught it. But here's the other thing that you might be missing out on. If you say money is no object and you give them a $10,000 Vegas trip, they might be at home like, yeah, that's it, awesome. But you missed that. Had you seen it, you would have been like, oh, they were planning on spending more. Be like, oh, by the way, I have gold tickets. I can get you tickets to see Carrie Underwood backstage meet and greet, blah, blah, blah. She's staying in this one. You can do all, and then you start adding, they're like, oh yeah, have that. Or how would you like to, have we can rent out the entire Shark Tank just for you and your group. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so you can start adding things on, so face to face. All right, now I'm gonna get a little more, BDM Zoom parties. There are also BDMs who offer to come on and do a Zoom party for you. They're like, I'll sell the cruise. You just get the people there. We'll do a whole party on Zoom. All right, so take advantage. Listen to these webinars where they offer to do things for you. Be the one to take them up on it. And I say one because I guarantee you will probably be the one out of the 800 people on that webinar. So be that one. That's how you get ahead. So for more advanced, there is blogging. There's getting PR on local news shows and in print. You can go to a trade show, or you can be somebody who is at the trade show. You decide what works for you. If you're one of those people who've been in 5 to 10 years and you're not going to a travel trade show, because then you're competing with everybody else. Even the bridal shows are getting a little competitive. But like car shows, do you know that cars are in the top 5 most expensive hobbies? Well, Hertz Street Cars is one of our partners. So you go and have a booth there. But if you're on a budget, then just go to a health food trade show, which in Florida is free to go into. But every person at the booth is a potential Pied Piper. The chiropractor, the gluten-free baker, the yoga studio owner, they're all Pied Pipers. All right, get your certifications in CLIA and ASTA and Apple Leisure Group. Get all your certifications, okay? Do 100 plus groups. Start booking groups of over 100. This is, again, for the advanced people. Now, I promised you I was going to talk to you how do you get them from social media DMs to conversations. All right, so Kathy got you onto social media. She got you doing it well, doing it right, and now people are commenting. All right, so you're going to create a wanderlusty post. You're going to ask a question or have a call to action. And when they write something, you are going to DM them. You're going to send them a private message on Facebook, a private message on Instagram, private message on LinkedIn, wherever you're doing your business. And then you must create a relationship with qualifying questions. Don't just private message, oh, by the way, I'm a travel agent, I can book that for you. Unless the question was, how do I book this trip? How do I get this trip? Then you can say, hey, you said, how do I get this trip? What? Still, don't be like, I can book it for you right now. Instead, say, what was it that excited you about this trip? At least talk to them for a minute. Buy the girl dinner first, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm going in the wrong direction there. Okay. I just said it to the dogs at the dog park. Anytime someone starts humping my dog, I'm like, take him to a movie for Pete's sake. Give me a break. All right. So they write something that you say, how many people love, does this destination create wanderlust for you? Put yes in the comments below. And if not, put what does wanderlust you? And then they'll write something else. And then you private message each one of those people, and you can say, so I see that this created wanderlust in you. Where have you traveled already? And then if they've been someplace you've been, have it back and forth. And I'm not talking about weeks of back and forth. I'm talking about a day or two of back and forth. To build a relationship. You got to think of yourself, I get a lot of DMs from people in, network marketing who do, skincare or, a lot of skincare. I don't know, do I look like I have bad skin? Should I be offended? I get a lot of that. and they all say and do the same things. They all are like, oh girl, you look like you could use our hero product. I'm like, I do? Okay, what's your hero product? Oh, it's this thing that's for acne, and I've never had acne in my life. Like, are you just cutting and pasting what somebody taught you to write and order on these things? But then if I go to Clinique, if I comment on Clinique, or if I look at Clinique, they're not trying to they're not bombarding my inbox. You know what I'm saying? You've got to look at, you are a professional travel agent. So you've got to look at what other professional business owners are doing. Maybe even find some travel agents who are not part of a host agency and see how they market themselves. And see what makes you feel icky and what doesn't. And do the things that don't make you feel icky. Okay? Because I know that you get mixed, this person says just send it to everyone, see who sticks. And if that feels good to you, fine. Keep doing what works. But I'm telling you that relationship means something. And it also helps you book a better trip for them. So, what were some of your favorite moments? What is on your list of places you want to go? Have you ever vacationed on a cruise, if you're selling cruises that month? Have you ever been in a villa? Have you ever taken a luxury train? Have you done all-inclusives? Have you river cruise? Like, ask some questions so obviously they're interested in travel, so talk about travel. Somebody who talks to me for a while, I'm great. Then, you can say, do you work with a travel agent? So yes, you're going to wait until now to say that, because the relationship is the most important part. If so, how's your experience been? And if they say great, then you say, I'm so happy for you. It's so important that you work with somebody who can help you. And then you still, you do your post. I'm not saying stay in touch with this person. You just keep posting, and because they're already following you. And if something goes bad, they'll figure it out. But some people, like a friend of mine, said, oh, I had the worst experience with a travel agent. I would never work with a travel agent again. I was like, but you're going to Greece. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, you've never been there. And she said, here's my friend's number. And she called her, and she had the most, she went so far as to let this travel agent surprise her with where they were staying one night. That's how much she trusted her by the time. And now she's got like 8 kids, and then all of her kids have kids, and it's like now this travel agent is very busy. So if they say no, you say, well, what made it a bad experience? And when they tell you, say, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And if you'd be willing to give me a chance, I would love the opportunity to show you how a travel agent can give you the most positive experience that you've ever had. And then, if not, then say why not? And then explain to them that there is no cost for working with a travel agent. Explain to them why there's no cost. All right, so take a picture of this because this is your homework. We're not going to do this now because there wouldn't be a point, and because I only have 2 minutes left. But seriously, write down that next step goal that you decide for the week, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So pick 3 things that you're going to do for your marketing plan. 3 things. Look at that big, picture that I gave to you all. I'm going to do it again live for, on a webinar so that everybody has it again. And pick 3 things that you want to do to make sure you're marketing yourself consistently. Sales plan. Maybe the sales plan is to call Tyler and help him. Oh, he's gone. I don't have to market him anymore. Okay. Whatever maybe it's to call BDM and have a strategy meeting.
There he is.
He knows I love him. He's like, oh, I'm here. Call Tyler. So come up with 3 things. Maybe it's to get some knowledge. Here's a secret for you. Every coach out there is trying to sell you a $70 program, a $7,000 program, a whatever. You can get it for free on YouTube. James Ferrara could fire me tomorrow and you could still figure out your career on YouTube. Okay? So look for sales, how to help your sales. And then 3 consistent daily actions. Put those down. How many of you would like an accountability partner but don't have one? Stand up. Start walking out the door. All those people who are walking out the door, start talking to each other. Go to the networking lounge. Find somebody, but find accountability. Thank you very much.